Welcome to Royal Oak Comics Party, episode 17. We're here with Michelle Kisner, who is of the blog Spoiler Free Movie Reviews.
Yes.
Thank you for being here with us. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your site?
Yeah. It's called Spoiler Free Movie Reviews, and we basically give reviews of movies, but no spoilers because people hate having spoilers in them. And I've always thought that, like, I've had so many movies spoiled for me because somebody will be like, you know, at your job, like, oh my God, you see this, and then this happened in the end, in the middle part, and then...
Give us an example of a spoiler.
I don't want to spoil anything, but
Damn,
I had something. I had The Sixth Sense spoiled for me in the theater because some dude next to me was like, "Oh man, this movie, this happens in the end," and I was like, "Did that just happen?" Like he said it super loud right next to me, and
Everybody knows what happened.
But it was when it first came out. It was in the theater, like the first night it came. Well, the second night because he'd obviously seen it the night before.
So does this spoiler freeness, does this extend all the way back in time, like forever?
Well,
for like any movie?
You know, I don't know. I guess like, you know, like Star Wars and stuff, people know like the plot twists and that. But we wouldn't, if I did a review for Star Wars now for it, I wouldn't spoil it because there's got to be one guy that's like waking up in a cave, rubbing his eyes as he goes outside.
So the ultimate like consumer for your website is somebody who lives like in a room hooked up to like an IV, and they just have like the Oculus Rift on, like with your website with everything else blocked off.
Well, it's like when the alternate ending of Army of Darkness, where he takes too many drops of the sleep potion, and he wakes up 1,000 years in the future, and he has no context for what he's walking into. That's when you read a spoiler-free review of a movie from the long past.
Or Captain America. Like, you know, he was frozen.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's the same.
He could totally go to our website and then see a movie review and not be spoiled. We're basically writing for Captain America and people who have been in comas. Those are like the only... You
should do like on April Fool's, like rewrite the front page of reviews and like, Rosebud was the slag.
So like, are the only place that you advertise the website is like at hospitals and stuff?
People with amnesia.
Just awakening.
Who am I? Oh my God, do I have a website for you? Don't know your name? Perfect. It's actually hard to write a movie review and not spoil things because you want to be like, oh my God, you know this one part where like this thing and it was cool, but you can't say what the cool thing was.
Is that just what you write?
Yes, I actually type exactly like that.
It's like
I remember that one part, but it was cool. I liked it. No, but it was harder than I thought it was going to be to write like around what happens. But there's a lot of things you can talk about in a movie that aren't like the actual things that occur in the movie, but it's hard.
Have you ever had somebody say, like, you write it and you think you're not giving any spoilers, and then somebody sends you a message like, why did you talk about this part? I couldn't believe it.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the thing I discovered when you write things and put them on the internet is no matter what you write, somebody hates it. No matter what it is, you could be like, puppies are cute, and somebody's like, I hate puppies, and they killed my parents or something. Like, no matter what, everybody just, and there's always like a really one nitpicky person that is like super into the thing you're writing about, but like way more than you. Like, he's seen that movie 150 times, and like, so they find some little nitnoid thing that you didn't do correctly, and it's just like, but then you just don't care because it's the internet. Like, everybody hates everything. So.
Yeah, that's true. So, do you have other people that write on the site with you, too?
Yep, I think we have 11 writers now. We added some more girls, because I was the only female writer for a while, and then we added a couple more girls, and like everybody kind of covers different aspects. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm the cult movie, B-movie, indie, horror, anime person, because like other people watch anime, but not like I watch anime. So they were like, yeah, you get the Japanese cartoons, you can do those. Yeah. But like if somebody covers TV shows and somebody else covers like the new releases when they come out.
Is it still the same situation of anime that it was like a long time ago where you're like torrenting stuff and getting like fan subs and all that kind of crazy stuff?
No, it's kind of, I mean, I was watching anime back, this sounds like the olden days, like the 90s. Oh my gosh, when it was like on Sci-Fi Channel Saturday animes, and that's when I first saw it. And then, so I was like that dork that was like in the Usenet rooms, like requesting like raw dubbed Japanese tapes and getting them sent in the mail, and they were like $50 shipping, and, you know, like like watching the fan subs, all the extra curse words thrown in, and like, and now like, you know, and then I stopped watching anime for like a year or two, and then I got back into it, and I was like, it's so different now. Kids got it so easy. They release anime when it's coming out in Japan, already like subtitled and stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy. Don't they have it on they have it on Hulu and
Yeah.
stuff now? It just comes
It just
out and you
blows
watch
my
it like
mind.
the same
There's
day.
too many shows now. Like back in the day, like I basically had seen everything that was out. Like, you know, and now it's like too much stuff. Like I have to ask like a 20-year-old like what's cool now. Like, you know, like because they're like way more into it now than me. But, you know, yeah, it's a lot different watching anime now. It's easier.
Does your brother still do like intense anime getting?
I don't think so much. He's moved on to where he's like reading more books, but he's like the king of, he's got every book and he's read every book and he's got every record, and he's like, he used to be that way where he'd have everything like 0 day immediately, but now it's more like he's got like flax of an album, and then you go on the band's website and they have like 40 Facebook likes and like 25 plays on their thing. And he's like, I already have like the
And he's
high
20 of the plays. Like
Right, like he's just his ability to find stuff and break records, like he's respected on message boards where if he says definitely take a listen to this, he'll provide the high res files, and then, you know, like he said check out the filter on the message board he's like hype on, and like Nick got a check for hundreds of dollars of Bandcamp sales just because my
is a brother Nick.
yeah, I have
Yeah.
two brothers.
Yeah.
One is a mega pirate and tastemaker musically, as far as listening to records, and then one makes records.
Yeah.
So, like, he's not, I don't think, so much on the anime.
Yeah.
I think he's got every manga when it comes out, but
That's cool.
and probably high quality fan subs, because there's like crews of fan subbers
Yes.
where there's like the bullshit guys, and then there's like the more academic, like
Right.
I'm really doing.
Like there will be people
good
that
job.
will get mad about a fan sub because they're using honorifics incorrectly. You know, they're like eating their pocky. Like, no, that's not how they say it in Japan. You know, like while they're watching it, like they're just angrily typing on like that's not how they do it over there. You know,
Like
like
it says like smack, 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 but
Yeah.
it's supposed to say like noom, noom, noom
Yeah.
or something.
I was never into it that bad, but
We're describing it almost like a little bit like a disease.
yeah. I mean, you know, when I was in high school, it wasn't cool to like anime. Nobody was like, hey, Michelle, let's go watch some anime.
Right, no
you know?
kidding.
So now it's cool, but it didn't used to be, you know. I was in an anime club, and I was the only girl in the club, and I had to answer like anime questions to get in, like 10 questions. And like everybody was like, yes, like considering there's like a tribunal like of like other otakus, like they're like, should we let her in? I don't know. You know, like I was all like sweaty and like nervous, like, oh man, are they gonna let me in the anime club? But they did.
They left out like a little bowl of Pocky to see if you said noom, noom, noom when you're eating it.
Like I ate it backwards. Like I ate like the stick first and like the chocolate last. And they were like, yes, you can't
Mortifying.
I think the anime club at my high school, if there was a girl who was in it, they would just sit in silence in
The stare at her.
ultimate terror of there being a girl present. It was the extreme. I guess that was ages ago now,
Yeah,
where you had to be way nerdier to be into it.
right.
It feels weird to say the 90s are olden days, but they kind of are.
Yeah, kind of. I
But
mean,
it's scary.
technology-wise, at least, like
Yeah.
it's way easier to get all of that stuff now, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, back then I remember buying like VCDs off eBay, and they'd come just like a CDR with
Yeah.
Sharpie written on, and
Those
you know,
Region Zeros, man.
right.
Or if you did buy anime, it was like $400 for 10 minutes of an episode on a tape at Suncoast. Like, to buy it was so
Suncoast.
expensive.
I remember that, and all the toys were like $1 million too.
Yeah.
They would get like a couple cool toys in there, but it would be like, how could you ever buy this?
And my mom, and they always put the anime next to the hentai, but
Oh,
they
yeah.
just mixed
Oh,
them
yeah.
in, so I'd be trying to buy it. My mom's like, you know, side-eyeing me. And I'm like, no, Mom. I mean, some of it actually I did buy. She just didn't know, but it was just weird that they just mixed it all together because they couldn't tell. I'm like, you know, It was like
You were like explaining all the differences. Like,
Yeah.
no, this one is just two guys.
yeah, and the octopus, they're friends, Mom. But yeah,
Would she write you like a list? Like, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is not cool.
I remember she watched Akira with me, and she sat in silence the whole. It's like 3 hours long, and then she just looks at me. And she's like, I don't know. Oh, she's British too, so she had an accent. She's like, I don't know what that was, but it was cool. I liked it. She was just trying to like humor me or whatever, but.
Oh man, getting parents to watch anime is hilarious. We told my friend Jeff, she was always like, why are you guys watching this like crazy Japanese cartoons all the time? And we told her like, no, this is like serious stuff. We're like, this one is called Gundam Wing and it's based on a true story. And we got her to watch like 3 episodes of it before she's like, what are you guys talking about? This is not based on a true story.
It's hard
Go
to get
outside.
to watch people to watch your favorite anime because you think it's really cool, but then when they're sitting there watching it, you're
You're like,
you start
"Oh."
realizing like this is really silly if you just tell them the story of what it's about. Like you're just like no.
There's a lot of like disbelief suspension
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Where do you stand on that? They're gonna make the live action Akira? Or are they even still doing that?
I think they're not even doing that anymore.
Oh.
They always say they're going to. Like I heard that rumor like a long time ago, like years and years ago.
I thought it was more serious this time.
Yeah, they might. It's probably going to be terrible though. Most anime to movie translations have been bad. Like Death Note's pretty good. That's
see it.
basically. Oh, it was actually a pretty good live action adaptation. But like new Ghost in the Shell with what's her butt, Scarlett Johansson. I was like,
That's out?
No,
That's a
but that's who that's going to play Major.
Oh, I didn't even
Kusanagi.
know that.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite, I think, Ghost in the Shells. Not the Scarlett Johansson one, but
I was just like, that was the closest to the character they could find. Like, some guy was looking through pictures. It was like, oh, perfect match. Or it was,
was it because she was in that other movie where she's like
oh,
shooting everything?
Lucy?
Yeah.
Yeah. The movie's okay.
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
I was
I'm not
like,
gonna spoil it or anything, but
I'm not going to spoil it, but it was crappy.
yeah, it was just
Spoilers don't apply to crappy
ridiculous
movies.
as hell.
I
It's very
definitely
like
was,
magical.
I was enraged by Kite, because that got live action with like Sam Jackson and all types of stars.
So bad.
Oh, I didn't see it.
And Kite is cool as hell, too. Like, the original is awesome. But the remake, I was like, what in the... What? Did you see the original
what is
movie?
that one
The
about?
beautiful smutty version of the original is great. It's like a, I don't know. Oh, great! I'm glad that light
the
just
lights
went out.
just turned off. Okay.
But I'm glad that. No, what was I saying?
Kite?
Kite.
The original smutty version?
Yeah, it's like sexy girl hitman runs amok,
Oh, okay.
and there's all these good rapes in it.
You know what? Yeah, a lot of people don't know that there's 2 versions of Kite that came out, and one had straight up porno hentai scenes in it.
Yeah.
Which they cut out because she's underage. But they kind of get around that by saying they'll like drop little references to them going to college or something. So that, or they'll be like, "It's a good thing you're 19." Like like they do that all the time because obviously that girl's like she's got to.
Did
be
they
like
change the
15.
story so she had like flunked like 3 times?
But she's like literally in a high school uniform, like la 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 in high school. But they'll be like, "We're in college." It's like a deep guy's voice, like "You're in college." Yeah, like.
Yeah, I am.
But they actually did another version of it where they cut all the sex scenes out and just left like the action. It actually still works. The sex scenes are completely like superfluous. Like you don't even need them. They're just thrown in there. So, like.
But it's like when they'd shoot a movie like totally modularly and like then put the porny smutty scenes in that were totally different actors.
Yeah.
You know, like it made me think of the good old like drive-in stuff. Where it was maybe just a terrible movie, but it got distribution because they edited in the smutty part.
Because you could put that in the trailer and like
Yeah.
on the poster and
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, have you
Yeah.
ever seen Caligula?
That rings a bell.
Well, it was it's basically one of the most expensive like porn ever made, and it it's the story of Caligula, but just super porny. And then after they made it, they just shot random penthouse sex scenes and just threw them in there, but they didn't bother to really dress them up in the period clothing very well. So, there's like a somewhat well-made movie, and then just these random, they look like 90s porn scenes just like thrown in where they just have random sex for no reason. it's actually hilarious. If you haven't seen it, don't put it on a party. I mean, I would, but
I'll download it and watch it in secret.
So what movie would you put on during a party?
what movie would I put?
Oh,
on
you just
during
said
the party?
Caligula.
Yes. I love really super trashy, horrible B movies like Troll 2, like anything made by Troma. So I usually put that kind of stuff on at parties. There's a movie called Ricky O that I really like.
What is that?
Ricky O? Oh, you'll describe it better.
Ricky
than I will.
O is about a guy that gets put in prison, and he's like mega powerful, and the prison has like leaders that own different parts of the prison, and he has to fight them. But he's kind of like Fist in Our Star, where he's like, if he can like punch through your stomach and stuff, and like
Okay.
and just it's incredible. It has the worst dub ever. I love extremely terrible dubs.
Where is it from?
It's based on a Japanese manga, but it's actually, I think it's a Chinese movie, like a Hong Kong movie. But it's incredible.
It's
And
all like gore.
it's super gory, but hilarious.
Blasting.
There's a guy that has a fake eye, and he has like mints in him. So he'll pop his fake eye out, and he'll like put Tic Tacs in his hand and eat them. And he has like a hook for a hand, and it's incredible. You need to watch it.
That's cool. So how do you keep up on all of the movies? Is there like a certain place that you go to see like new releases, or somewhere you go to like find out ideas of stuff to watch?
I hear a lot. Well, now that I've been writing for the site, people will tell me about movies. They'll message me, "Have you seen this or seen that?" And I'll be like, "Oh," and I'll go look into it. Reddit. I go on Reddit a lot. I like a lot of movie websites on Facebook, so they pop up with new stuff that's coming out. But that's mostly how I find out, just through the regular avenues that most people do.
That's cool. So, do you write for anything else besides the blog?
No, that's the only one.
That's cool. Have you done other like writing projects in the past, or do you work on anything else besides the website or anything?
The website, and then I have my regular job, and then I fiddle around with music. That's the other thing that I do. But most of the stuff I do is like just for funsies.
Yeah.
I guess like everybody's all like serious business about their stuff, but I'm just like, oh, I like doing little things. But yeah, that's I like comic books and video games. That's pretty much all the other time I spend doing stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd never written for anything before this website. But I mean, I liked writing. I've always been pretty okay at writing. So when they asked for somebody, I was like, oh, sweet. I like movies. I like writing.
That's cool. What comics are you into right now?
Right now, I'm reading Multiversity and Crossed. Alan Moore's writing for Crossed. I'm reading. I'm in the nerdy. I do the nerdy book club for.
Oh yeah, Detroit Comics.
Yeah, so I'd started reading Miracle Man because we were reading that. Alan Moore wrote that too. I actually got into Chester Brown recently. Like I read Pain for it, and then I bought the rest of his stuff.
I wanted to read that. I haven't gotten
It's really
it yet.
good, actually. It's the best book you could read about a guy that goes to prostitutes.
Yeah.
But he's oddly endearing. Like, I like the guy. Like, he
Yeah.
had really good reasons for why prostitution shouldn't be illegal. And I was like, Like, he didn't seem really skeezy or anything. He was just very straightforward about it, you know? But
I think I read or I listened to like an interview with him about the book or something, and he was talking about like he draws all the sex scenes, right? But doesn't he draw? It's something like with the faces where like he doesn't draw the right face on the right person or something.
yeah,
or,
he didn't draw their faces how he remembered them because he didn't want to be recognized.
Okay.
So that if they didn't want to be known, they wouldn't. So he would just pick like some sort of thing they had, like a scar or something, and maybe like put that in there. But he would draw their faces different and their bodies different. But apparently, he said he drew his dangling to scale. And I remember he specifically threw that in the book. Like I was like, wow, I didn't even know that. It was in the notes section.
Would you believe any comic book artist who told you that? Like,
well, he didn't like make it super ginormous, so maybe he was being correct. I don't know. But I just thought it was funny that he felt the need to point out that he drew it to scale. But, you know, I was like, oh, that's cool, dude. Thanks.
he drew it different so nobody would recognize it.
I've seen that somewhere before. People say Crumb drew his Pringles can dick to scale in his comics.
There was somebody on Twitter the other day asking, I think it was Box Brown, just wrote like, how many times do you think Joe Matt is gonna jerk off in his new comic. And I sent back, how many pages is it? And he goes like, he's like, I think it's like 12 pages. And I was like, all right, that's probably like 132 times. Oh my God.
But the new Joe Matt book, or the new Joe Matt pages are in Drawn and Quarterly or something?
I don't know. I didn't see him yet. I don't know. Do you like Joe Matt?
I've never really read anything by him, so.
He jerks off a lot.
Does
apparently.
he? Well, now I gotta look into it now.
He's like a
Piqued
super
my interest.
horrible cheapskate. What's the one, like, he's got in the end of one of his books, he's got, like, it's like what normally would be like a testimonial or something from another famous cartoonist. I can't remember who it is, but the whole thing is basically just like, you know what, when you read this book, all of his cheapskateness and, like, hoarding things and, like, being super terrible about spending money, like, he draws it really cute and he makes it look like it would be an endearing, funny trait. It's actually awful. Like, being around this guy is the worst. Like, he's so penny pinching. He won't go out to eat with you. He won't do anything. Like, he'll like steal paper from places and hide it all over the house and all this other stuff.
I
like,
need to look this up immediately
it's
now.
pretty funny. I forget who it was.
It's brilliant. All the Joe Matt books are some of my favorites.
Yeah.
But then also there's an interview with him on like the Amoeba Records thing where they go record shopping, and it's the Amoeba Records like video blog thing. And he seems like a totally nice guy, but he does have that little thing of like, I wouldn't be doing this if they weren't giving me a $100 gift card to videotape what I bought.
For sure. Yeah, for
At least
sure.
he's not lying. I like people that are kind of. That's why I like Crumb, because Crumb like doesn't sugarcoat anything he does. Like every comic, if he looks terrible, that's just how he depicts himself. But I don't think he's terrible. I think he's just a kinky dude who likes big thighs, man. You know? It's all right. We all got our things. Like, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Crumb that they did, the documentary, and I was just like in love with the guy. I was like, he's just so adorably just real, like, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of people don't like him, I guess. Well, I think a lot of people like him, but a lot of people think he's a bad person. I'll say it like that, but
Yeah, I
don't
guess.
think he is.
I don't think he's a bad person.
He's cranky, but you can't
yeah.
flex him on his phenomenal technical ability.
Yeah, for sure. So, I don't know, tell us more about the Nerdy Book Club thing. Is that something that they put on there at
it's
Detroit
once a
Comics?
month,
I've never been there. I know what it is, but I've never been there.
Yeah,
they put it on.
It's once a month, and they pick a book, and then you buy it. You should be nice and buy it from them, which I do.
Yeah.
You know, support your local economy. But you buy the book, and then you read it, and then the next month you come back and everybody discusses it for 2 hours over beer and pizza. But it doesn't sound as nerdy as it could, because I know people are probably thinking it's a bunch of like, you know, comic book guy from Simpsons sitting around like
actually.
Yeah, it's not like
Right.
that at all. Like one guy's like an English professor, like one guy like owns a business. It's just all different walks of life. There's like girls there, guys there, all different ages, like from 20s up to like 50s, you know.
That's cool. They usually do graphic novel stuff.
Well, they switch it around. Like we do biographies, or we'll do like indie comics, or just all kinds of stuff. Superhero comics sometimes, like we did Miracle Man. We're doing Miracle Man Volume 2 this next month.
Cool.
But I made a lot of friends through there. It was pretty cool. I like it a lot.
That's cool. What is it?
It's at where? Where is it?
Detroit Comics in Ferndale.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah. It's my name.
I live 1 block from there. I should know more about what's happening in my surroundings.
Well, I moved here from I'm not from Michigan, so to make friends, because I didn't know anybody when I moved here. Like I knew 0 people. I just go to things by myself all the time. Like I just go to shows and stuff. I'll just look them up on Facebook, like events, and I'll just show up.
That's a good
and
idea.
Just meet people, because nobody's gonna I hope nobody's gonna just beat you up or something. But you know, like who are you? You know, but I'll just go on to shows, and I'm a girl, so you know if I'm sitting by myself, usually somebody will come introduce themselves to me. But but it's just nice. I've met a lot of people doing that.
That's cool. When did you move here?
5 years ago.
Really? Mm-hmm. Where did you live before?
Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
The difference between Texas and here?
Yeah, there's no difference. It's exactly the same.
No,
Just kidding.
I didn't like Texas because it's kind of conservative.
Yeah.
And by kind I mean really conservative.
So you didn't live in the cool part?
No, like Austin.
Yeah.
They basically tell everybody weird, just go to Austin. That's what they do. You get your own little
mandatory.
City. Yeah.
They show up at your house and
They just stamp your hand.
You. Yeah.
They ask which like favorite movies are music. Go to Austin.
They just give you like a nerd armband. You have to go.
But I moved here. This is actually my favorite place I've lived out of all the places, and everybody's always surprised because everybody in Michigan like hates Michigan for some reason. I'm like,
we're whiners though.
but it's so nice here, and there's like beautiful in the summertime. And you can go. There's like all these things to do, and Detroit's fun. There's shows and art shows, and everybody's cool and making stuff, and the food's good.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, we don't know because everybody who comes in seems to say that though. We're just like. Too many shows, too many.
It snows.
Too many cool things.
That's nice. The winter is pretty bad here. I think about moving every winter. I'm just like, about January, I'm like, why do I live here? And then, and then March comes around, I'm like, oh, okay, it's not so bad.
I feel like such an old man now because now I'm like, every time it's winter, I'm like, this is making me appreciate the summer so much more. So I'm looking forward to it.
You just
gives
need
you a
the
nice
seasons.
contrast,
Anybody I know with like a saleable skill is just sitting all winter saying, I could live anywhere. I could do this job anywhere. With the computer, I don't even need to exist at all. I could go to California. I could be in LA. And then they're just meanwhile just shivering at their desk.
They're never going to move.
Right. No, of course not.
California's out of water anyway, so we're not moving there. No. There won't be any LAs to go to, I don't think.
But it's not bad here at all. I really like Detroit area, so.
That's what it says on the city limit sign. It says it's not bad at all.
It's not that bad. There's just a guy going, like a picture.
It's pretty good. It's not bad enough.
No.
Very Midwesty attitude.
We feel trapped. Why not make the best of it? It's the Detroit crest.
But everybody sounds funny to me still, even though I've been living here 5 years. That kind of like accent, everybody sounds like adorable. I just want to just pinch everybody's cheeks when they're talking.
What, the nasally thing?
Yeah, where's that E at? Let me get that bag. That kind of thing you guys
big.
got. Yeah. I'm just like, aw.
Talk straight out your nose.
But I will say the people in Texas are like way nicer.
Really?
Than here. Like I'm used to like waving at strangers at the street and people letting you in when you need to drive on the road and switch lanes and stuff. Like they don't do that here. And I was driving the speed limit when I first moved here and everybody was honking at me. I couldn't understand what was going on.
Yeah, it's very like defensive interactions where you're trying to like conserve your resources as much as possible. To stay warm.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And I didn't understand the like little turnaround things because we don't have those in Texas.
Do you have the roundabout things?
No, they don't have
we're
those.
You
getting
just go
those.
left.
Oh.
You just go left.
I remember I was trying to find my apartment that I lived in, and the first time to go, like, talk to the people, and I was like, how do I get to that side of the street? How do I get over there? I was driving for like 30 minutes. How do I get over there?
You just have all the windows down.
And I saw somebody going a little thing. I was like, oh. I felt really stupid later. But,
Yeah, there isn't really like a little guidebook or anything like that.
There's a Wikipedia page.
There is
like
for Michigan Left.
Yeah.
Is it really the only place where that exists?
It's the only place I've ever been where that exists, but I haven't been like that many places, I guess so.
Wow. They put in a bunch of roundabouts by my house, and like I live like up north a ways, and like every time I go into it, my strategy is just you go as fast as you can, and you just get to wherever you're going really as fast as possible without looking in any other direction. Because if you look, it's too confusing.
They're confusing. Sometimes I don't even get to where I need to go. I just go home. Like I just end up going the opposite way.
You just go back out the
like,
same way.
No, yeah.
Bye.
I just follow other cars and hope they know they're going to where I'm going.
I remember going to St. Louis once, and they have those roundabout things, and just like going into it and then just circling it endlessly. Like, this is a nightmare. What are you supposed to do in this hell circle?
Well, speaking of circling endlessly, we've come to the end of our time here. Thank you very much, Michelle, for being with us. This was very fun, and we can't tell anybody what to do on this show, but there's a website called...
It's Spoiler-Free Movie Sleuth. That's what it's called.
Oh, sorry, I said it wrong.
Well, I said it wrong also.
I hypnotized you.
I'm fired after this show.
All right. Thanks for watching Royal Oak Comics Party. We'll see you next time.